Hello, 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 and welcome to Lunchtime with Dr. Nadine and our very special guest joining us today. We are so excited that you are here. So, as you're joining us, let us know in the chat where are you joining us from. So, just let us know. We know you're excited to have lunch with us today. Let us know in the chat where you're joining us from. So, I am going to give a quick intro of our guest for today. And then we're going to have her tell you a little bit more about herself. And then we're going to get into our lunchtime for today. So, Natasha Pascal is the creator of a Journey of Self-Discovery program. You're going to hear a little more about that. She helps young women between the ages of 23 to 37 who are desirous of knowing their identity and do not have an overwhelming desire to fit into the norms of society. She's helping them to transition from feeling lost to actually living a life that does not require them looking for validation outside of themselves.
Yeah.
And so she's on a mission to change lives, the lives of young women who just want to stand out rather than fit in. Natasha, we are so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Collins. Thank you for giving me this platform to introduce me to the world. Thank you.
Awesome. So I want to give a shout out. We have Miss Joanna Bissett, joining us there from St. Lucia. Welcome, Joanna. And as you come in, ladies, just let us know where you're joining us from. So, Natasha, we're really excited to have you here. And so our guests would like to know just a little bit about you. Just give us a little bit about your background.
Okay. As Dr. Nadine says, my name is Natasha. I grew up in the community of Pave Road, Castries, St. Lucia. Beautiful St. Lucia, beautiful community. I came from a mother of my siblings are 6 in total, 3 boys, 3 girls. I have a wonderful teenage son, and I have just resigned, well, over a year ago, after 22 years of banking and ventured out on my own.
Awesome. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
I had the honor of working with you a long time ago, like literally 20 years ago.
Mhm.
And so I'm excited to have you here on this platform. So you grew up in St. Lucia,
Mhm.
Castries. You were in banking for over 22 years.
Yep.
And
Yep.
just a year ago, you just decided
Yep.
that you were going to quit your job. Talk to us about talk to us about that.
I actually never saw that coming.
Okay.
That was never my plan. I don't even know what my plan was, but of course, God had a bigger plan for me. I remember specifically sitting in my kitchen, June 29th, just after meditation and praying, and it had always been in my prayers that I wanted to do more out of the bank, and God said to resign, um, leave the job. And I said, "You okay, leave the job." And he said he's going to take care of me.
Mm.
And just like that, I fasted after that, and it has just been easy. Everything that I asked God for revelation, everything from that day until now is just been God taking care of me as He promised.
Mhm.
Um, from being employed in a corporate world to being on my own, which I didn't know where I was going. When managers and persons at the bank asked me, "Where are you going?" I said, "I don't know. Just going where God is leading me." A lot of persons thought it was crazy, but hey, I have to be obedient.
Wow, I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
It means that you are on this amazing journey with God. And so imagine 22 years as a successful banker, just
Mm-hmm.
having your life well set for you. And he says, leave. And so
Leave.
you had to
Yeah,
on a journey of obedience for you
yeah,
to take such a big move without
yeah.
knowing what the next step was.
Yes. Um, that didn't just come just as that was. I didn't grow up, as they would say, in a church going home.
Yeah.
My mother was always, it was a hotel employee, and she had worked long hours. And my role specifically as the older girl in the house was to take care of my siblings, go to school, come back, you have chores, you have other things doing. But a lot of things were not taught
Mm-hmm.
not through any fault of hers, because I now know it's because of her own background. So and this also started me understanding on my whole self-awareness journey. I did a lot of background work into my parents, myself, why I behaved certain ways. So a lot of things were not taught. A lot of things were taboo at that point. Growing up in a Caribbean household, in a society, things were held back.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a lot of mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
um, things that I was not proud of, right? And again, I felt like I had to follow persons. So it would be from relationship to relationship, whether
Mm-hmm.
it be platonic or otherwise. Maybe that career, no, well, banking was specifically what it was,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe that role in the bank. So I was never sure of what I was doing or who I was, and I
Mm-hmm.
never understood that was my plight, that I
Mm-hmm.
didn't understand, who was Natasha. If somebody would have asked me then, maybe I would just say a mother, a sister. But
Mm-hmm.
now I have a better understanding, and that took some years before me resigning, and the journey still continues.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's rich.
Yeah.
And so many amazing points that you've touched that I
Yeah.
believe a lot of our ladies who are listening, who are viewing right
Hmm.
now could actually connect with,
Hmm.
just being told to do certain things, not being
Yeah.
probably given the tools to be able to manage certain areas, but because these people, our parents, grandparents, they
Yeah.
too never had those tools.
Yeah.
And so you've been on a journey of self-awareness.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
now you're on that journey. You took that faith step. You left
Hmm.
your career after 22 years. What
Hmm.
brought you into the speaker mentorship program? Because it seemed as if you were already okay because you're on that journey of self awareness. So, what brought you into the program?
I actually had the pleasure of working with other coaches before I came into your program,
Mm-hmm.
because at every point I realized that I needed more. There
Right.
was more. After another coach, there was more. I needed something else. So
Mm-hmm.
I had just concluded another program with another coach who is locally based in St. Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
And also you presented at one of her conferences last year. You were one of the presenters there. So after I did that, after I did her coaching program, that ended, I wanted to know, okay, how do I tell my story?
Right.
And is that the story that I want to tell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who would help me? No, I didn't go to who would help me. And I never wanted to speak. I would say that speaking was never on the cards. Actually, nothing was on the cards. So um, when I went on to the coaching call with you, but I wanted clarity. How do I tell that story? I wanted clarity. So I said, okay, then I know Nadine. Let me just go on to the call with her to see um, if this is what I need to do. And I went onto the call, and like everything you said, it was like, yeah, that's what I need to do. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Yeah. So there was no brainer.
Right.
Um, I just knew and I felt, like God led me there, that
Right.
this is what I had to do. But I will always say this speaking thing, it was never on the cards. So,
Wow. I mean, I'm sure a lot of things was done on the cards, including quitting your 22-year
mm-hmm,
stable job,
mm-hmm,
and now you're
mm-hmm,
going into another space of the unknown, doing something you don't desire to
mm-hmm.
do,
Yeah,
and yet
yeah,
you did it. So,
yeah.
what was the journey like for you in the speaker program?
It was one of my most liberating moments, because your speaker mentorship program offers your Soar to Greatness, your program, which deals with prayers and other aspects. Um, One of my most profound moments, I would say, was
Mhm.
writing the letter to fear, to
Okay.
say, that's it. I knew that I had dealt with fear. Okay, I was at that point where I knew, okay, yeah, I have done that and I have done that. But when the program said, okay, now you said in the program, write your letter to fear. So I said, okay, let me just try this, and I just felt like everything just lifted. I knew that I thought that I had it handled until I wrote that letter. So that was one part of it. um, Meeting the ladies, the community, vulnerability. It was just like I felt like it was a sisterhood. We could have been honest with one another, and you challenged us. So it was a challenge after another, after another, after another. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, and you rose to every challenge, by the
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was really an honor working with you, just seeing you just putting in your work. And so we worked on your story because you came in, you wanted clarity. You didn't want to speak, but you wanted
Yeah.
clarity on the message. You're there. We got clarity on that message. What
Mm-hmm.
was it like for you when you realized this is it? This is what
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to be focusing on and spending time.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like for you?
You said something after one of the weeks. I felt, okay, let me just write about me growing up. As I said, um, I left, but there was always something in the back of my mind. You need to put more in there. And then you said something. You need to tell people the truth, not what you think they want to hear. You need to be authentic. You need to speak and you need to see the truth. I was like, wow, she's really like she's in my mind now. Okay, fine. I will I will put on the story what I was hiding.
Mhm.
Certain parts of certain people knew, not everybody, but to go out to the world to just give that bold thing and all my experiences. Just telling your story liberates me.
Mhm.
um, and just speaking it out and just telling other persons what it is now, you
Mhm.
just get, wow, that's brave. And there are so many persons who want to tell their story.
Mhm.
We hold back from telling stories because we feel embarrassed sometimes.
Mhm.
And I'm speaking from my own experience.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit embarrassed
Mhm.
about saying it publicly.
Mhm.
Um, but, after I did that and I continue to tread towards that, it's like, oh, this thing is not holding me back anymore.
Mhm.
So many people need to hear it that they are not alone.
Yeah.
So that's what it's been doing for me.
Awesome. So I remember you getting that aha moment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the holding back, and sometimes as women, a lot of times, we hold back because of, as you mentioned, maybe embarrassment, the fear of being judged or ridiculed and spoken
Yeah.
about and so on. But it's
Mm-hmm.
as we tell the story, we ourselves actually feel free.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
feel liberated because I
Yeah.
remember when you got that USA
Mm-hmm.
kind of vibe. And it's like, okay, well, I don't need to. And the only thing I believe we're working on now was
Mm-hmm.
accuracy. You were so intent on just being so accurate to the
Mm-hmm.
point that when you did your photo shoot,
Mm-hmm.
I remember receiving that photo, your professional photo, and I added something there, and you're like, I want my freckles to show, and I was
Yeah.
like, I love it. You were like, bang, here's Natasha, everything, including my freckles.
Including my
I
freckles.
love it. I
Including my
love it.
freckles. Yeah.
So now you have clarity on that message. You're ready to
Mm-hmm.
tell your story. Talk
Mm-hmm.
to us about that message that you have for the world. I'm sure our viewers are dying to know.
Well, my message is that you don't have to fit into the norms of society. You don't have to fit into what everybody else is telling you to do. You find your own way. But of course, you need help. Obviously, God gave each of us give each of us purpose. So Dr. Collins is operating in her purpose. I like to think of it like we are all on a highway.
Mhm.
We have various stretches of road, but at some point the highway merges.
Mhm.
Um, And for me, I was like following behind all the cars on that highway, but I never ventured out into, finding my path home. What is it that you want to do? So I followed everybody else. Maybe I should apply for that position because that person is applying for that position. Or maybe I should go to that, let's just say, I should go to that party because that person is going to that party. Or because my friend loves this, I will just go with her because she loves doing that. I did not have my own voice. um, I did not know myself, and I would confess to say that I didn't even look at myself. I would look at myself in the mirror, but like really look, take a close look and see, you know, boy, you have these freckles and this, or just look into my eyes and just speak positivity in there. So I will, we do that sometimes. We look for validation in relationships. We look for validation on our jobs. We're just operating at a place where we hanging on to things, or trying to grasp ourselves in things, in persons, and not realizing this is not you. So it took me some time to understand that, and to understand that the mistakes that I made, it is not going to devalue my worth.
Yeah.
uh, yeah.
That's a big one. That's a big one. I'm happy that you mentioned that
Yeah.
because a few things that you said there just keeps just popping.
Mm-hmm.
One being that we have so many people, even though they're grown adults, having successful careers,
Mm-hmm.
making a lot of money, have stability in
Mm-hmm.
life, but they are not aware of who they are. They're
Right.
still trying to morph. They're still trying to camouflage themselves based on the groups that they're in, based on
Yeah.
the relationships that they have.
Yeah.
And so many women are struggling. I can speak specifically for us because I interact with many women, and
Mm-hmm.
so many are struggling to find their identity because
Mm-hmm.
they lost it in a relationship, they lost it in a marriage, they lost it in a partner, they lost it, on their job and in their friendships. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's something that's really important for us as women to understand that
Mm-hmm.
we're created for greatness, we're unique, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to become anybody else to fit in.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
Be yourself, and the people who need to be in your circle, they're going to love you.
That's right.
You know?
Yes, and I also have to say that you can't be yourself if you. For me, I had to get persons that I trusted to tell me what they saw,
Mm-hmm.
um, honestly. So we can't operate and do this thing on our own. There are coaches, you have your family, there are other trained professionals that can help you to that regard. I didn't get here on my own. God was the foundation, of course,
Amen.
because I kept running from God because,
Mhm.
after I kept, seeking validation in the arms of, in relationships, I kept running and running until you
Yeah.
know I got this roadblock and I just had to stop you
Mhm.
know
Mhm.
so on this journey of knowing who I am,
Mhm.
it is not only me,
Mhm.
yes, but you need the honesty. You need
Mhm.
to be get to a point where you're vulnerable, that persons can help you get to the next level. Discomfort, yes, it's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable, but it takes you now to the next level. And
Mhm.
then you just keep soaring and you keep soaring and you said, wow, I never knew that was, that person inside me. That's for me.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
I'm sure it's for a lot of persons, it's uncomfortable. Deal
Mhm.
with the discomfort and then you keep on identifying and you just keep reaching higher levels that you never imagined that you have.
Right. That's amazing, amazing advice. Because the thing is, nobody would think, I'm thinking of you 20 years ago, we working
Mhm.
together, and nobody would probably think that you had an identity crisis.
Right.
Within yourself, you knew it.
Hmm.
And that would have taken you down paths maybe that you didn't want to go, but you wanted to fit in.
Yeah.
So what was that struggle like, and where is Natasha now in terms of trying to fit in?
I wouldn't say that I knew that I had that identity crisis until maybe some years ago, on that journey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it now all makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
with the work that I'm putting into myself and programs, and developing myself and taking personal steps myself. Now I realize, this is what happened.
Mm.
Because sometimes, I would say for me, I wasn't aware. Now, how do you get from being unaware to self-aware? Is where I am now.
Yes.
So sometimes we don't know,
Mm-hmm.
because we just do things. We're like robots. We get up, we go to work,
Automatic.
automatic.
Yeah.
We get
Yeah.
up, we go to work every day. We come back, we take care of the household, or our parents, or whatever. We keep going and going and going and not realizing this is not it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was unaware, and now I'm aware. And this new Natasha is not following anybody. This new Natasha is evolving into something and going to the places where God has called me to go. I would say
Amen.
that, not knowing that that was my journey. I had worked with young people, and I never understood why. You
Mm-hmm.
know, for my majority, the majority of years for banking, I
Mm-hmm.
have always had that role.
Mm.
Most of the years, so
Wow.
over 20 years, I would say maybe over 15 years of that would
Mm.
have been working with young people, managing and coaching, mentoring young people, and in that role. I love that part. I love dealing with people. I just love taking care of them. I would call them my children.
Right.
So a new me knows now that this is where I'm supposed to be, because this is, where I feel I'm home and in the shower and I'm thinking of new ideas, and it excites me, and it's
Mhm.
just sometimes your purpose is not that big. It's not that difficult. We look for me, I was looking for
That's so true.
I was looking for things so deep and deep, and I said, oh, this is what I've been doing all the time.
Yes, Natasha, that is so, I'm so happy you brought that up because most of the time, I could say 99.9% of the time, when I
Mhm.
work with men and women in the speaker program,
Mhm.
when
Mhm.
we land what was right there
Yeah.
in the face
Yeah.
because we're so wired to
Mhm.
thinking that we have to search high and low. And that's why in my latest book, The Pursuit of Purpose, I talk about it. We search high and low. We go
Mhm.
far. We get the education, the degrees, the diplomas. We get the experience. We get the job. We get the money.
Mhm.
We do everything that we're told to do,
Yeah.
looking for one little thing
Yeah.
that's already inside of us.
Yeah.
And when you check yourself, it's always right in front of your face. God had you in it. You already apparently operating. Sometimes there's already connections there.
Yeah.
That's because we're wired to
Yeah.
complicate things. We're wired
Yeah.
for complexities. It's almost as if, I have to work hard for this thing to happen. I have
Mhm.
to work hard for this thing to make sense, not realizing that your purpose is actually, you were born with it.
Yeah.
You don't have to look that far,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
sometimes it's the guidance, as you mentioned earlier on, the
Mhm.
guided questions and stuff like that helps us to realize that
Yeah.
what seems to be something complicated, it's so simple. And
Yeah.
now, how can we now position you to prosper? How can we position you to
Yeah.
succeed in it?
Yeah.
Because you already have all what you need. Now we're going to develop tools. We're
Yeah.
going to develop strategies
All
because
right.
the thing is already there. God called
Mhm.
you for it. And I'm so excited you brought that up because I see it all the time. But I
Yeah.
know for sure, as you just articulated so clearly, sometimes we just need somebody to be accountable to
Yeah.
ask questions, the right
The right
questions,
questions.
just so that we can find ourselves positioned where God wants us to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so you love young people,
I love working with young people.
you
Yep.
love serving them.
Yes, I
Your
do.
mission is to help them. Talk to us about these young people that you're serving, what you want them to be able to accomplish. How do you want to prevent them from making the mistakes that you made?
Mhm. First, by helping them identify how undeniably special they are,
Mhm,
because we have that love, the
mhm,
love that God gives Everybody has that love, we search, but for me, I was searching for love on the outside. But if
Mm,
there's no love on the inside, I
mm,
just realized that I was never given the proper love anyway.
mm,
Sometimes we casually say, really, I really love you. But do you really love? Do you? I just realized, on that journey, I realized, did I really love? No, I didn't.
mm.
Because I never understood what really love was until,
Wow.
I had to fall in love with God, and
Mm,
then God had to show me how much He loves me, because we are all so loved, and then we beat ourselves down with a hammer by making mistakes. We beat ourselves down with our thoughts of thinking that we are not enough,
mhm, mm.
and then we have this big love that shadows us and encourages us,
Wow.
and wakes us up every day, and so I am here to tell you, the mission is to let the young people know through different avenues how undeniably special we are. And there's society, I'm talking about home right now, is like, there's young people, are so lost, these young people nowadays or whatever. Let me tell you, I feel like I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle gap. So there's the young people, there's the elderly, and then I'm in the middle. So
Yes.
I'm here to bridge that gap,
Yes.
because when I was younger, I used to hear the same thing. These
Mm,
young people nowadays or whatever. And it's amazing to hear people my age, in my age group,
mm.
saying, boy, these young people, nobody nobody gave us a chance.
Yes.
So I'm here to give. We need to give people a chance, because we don't know people's backgrounds. We
Mm,
don't know what's going on in their homes. We don't know what's going on in their communities. And if we just give them a chance, give
mm,
them an opportunity to feel loved, to
mhm,
to to understand that you don't have to do these things. You don't have to join a gang. You don't have to be, with because your friends are going out or having sex,
mhm,
and falling down the wrong hole. These things, you don't have to do these things to feel special, right?
mhm,
So this is what my mission is, to show them that they are undeniably special. They're very special, and
mhm.
they don't have to look for outside validation,
Yes.
to just feel loved.
Yeah, I mean, amazing, amazing, amazing work. For me, I'm just listening to you and I think, oh my goodness, it's a mission of compassion. And
Yeah,
you mentioned something about sex, which is something that's, I guess, destroying our young people. And so many are looking for love.
yeah,
All these places, the wrong place.
yeah,
Of course, you talk about the chance, and I'm thinking again, compassion,
mhm,
because a lot of times they're just looking for love,
yeah,
just in the wrong places.
yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah.
And there's this breakdown, I believe, in society. Like, if we, as you said, just give them an opportunity to be heard, to
Mhm.
hear what they're saying, and then we can see, okay, this is my experience.
Mhm.
I may not be a professional but I would like you to know that I went through this. I use my body in the wrong way, and
Mhm.
this is what happened. This is how what could have happened, and wasn't it for the mercies of God. But you don't have to follow that path. There's something better that you can do with yourself.
Mhm. I mean, I applaud you for wanting to be that open with the young people, because most
Mhm.
older folks don't ever tell us the truth about their struggles. And here
Yeah.
you are putting it all out there. These are the mistakes I made. I used my body in the wrong way. I
Hmm.
made a lot of mistakes, but I want to
Hmm.
help you to not fall into the pits that I fell into. So I want to give you love. I want to have that safe space for you.
Yeah.
And talking about that safe space, your
Hmm.
email address, where can people reach you? Because we have a lot of organizations that
Hmm.
needs what you have to tell young people. A lot of young people like you are probably at that place right now,
Hmm.
using their body wrongly, because
Yeah.
they're just trying to get love. They're
Yeah.
trying to fit in. They're
Yeah.
trying to just be cool with everybody else.
Yep.
You're
Yeah.
saying, I want to pull you out of that space.
Yeah.
I don't want you to go down my road. Where can people find you?
I have this registered. I have a business in St. Lucia. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Safe Space Consultancy Services.
Mm-hmm.
So persons can reach me at natasha.pascal at
Okay.
safespaceconsultancy.co. All
Okay.
right. So you can reach out to me, send me an email, and we can go from there. Let me see how I can assist you in helping the young persons that you know of get to the next level that they should be operating at.
Awesome. So you're serving groups and you're also working. I know
Individual.
you have a program coming up. You can
Yes.
just actually take this moment to actually advertise your program.
Right. So I have this teen summit, a teen girls summit, coming up on the 17th of June.
Mm-hmm.
It's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Doors will open before that. And as I was saying, I can't do it alone. So there are a number of partners and professionals who have come on board to help young girls deal with issues that maybe that was not discussed at home, or maybe they don't want to discuss with their parents.
Mm-hmm.
So parents, you are not allowed to come. I have gotten I have gotten the email request. So there are persons there that will help the young ladies within that group. Limited spaces available, and it's at a cost of $75. Food and drinks will be there within that cost. And I would have there is a gynecologist, a dentist, dermatologist, psychotherapist, myself, Arifo Ogist, and Adrian Oji. There are various doctors. About 7 persons would be there for one day to
Mm-hmm.
speak to the young ladies about maintaining themselves, their purpose, the identity, their thoughts, and where do they go from there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a day filled, promised to be filled with fun, information, compassion, and most of all, love.
All right. So one of the things I would love you to do is to drop in the chat so folks can know, and that's happening in St. Lucia.
Yes,
Now,
it
for
is.
our viewing audience who are all over the world, because we have folks from Nairobi right now, we have people watching from Nairobi, we have folks from Jamaica, we have from all different parts of the world joining us
Mhm.
in Louisiana. If
Mhm.
they want to register a young lady, will it be virtual as well, or it's just local?
No, this is just an in-house event for now. We will not be doing an online event for at this point. So
Okay.
it's an in-house event just
Okay.
this time. So
All right.
whenever anything else comes on board, we will work obviously to reach a wider community as we can.
Awesome. I mean, I love it. You're starting. I mean, you finished the program. I mean, just earlier this year, and you're already
Yeah.
just pushing through. And I love that. I really just love to see you soaring. And so, for those of you who are in St. Lucia, the event is on June 17th. I am absolutely sure that there is a young lady in your home, in
That's
your community, in your church, somewhere that will benefit from that Teen Girls Summit.
Mm-hmm.
Because now Natasha has put in her heart to ensure that our young ladies are making good choices with
Yeah.
their life. And so,
Yes.
Natasha, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your story. Viewers, thank you so much for joining us. You're free to drop your questions. Natasha will be there in the chat. We have her email address here on screen. If you know an organization or you have a group of young ladies that you really want to make good decisions, you found a woman who is dedicating her life to serving our young women to ensure that they're actually making good decisions. Most of us, we're afraid to do what Natasha is doing. We're
Mm.
scared of being judged. Natasha is not.
Yeah.
She's putting herself in the front. She's
Yes.
going to help our young women to make good choices. Natasha, God bless your work,
Thank you so
your
much, Dr.
life,
Collins.
your
Thank you for the
ministry,
opportunity.
and all that you're doing. And may He
Thank
continue to
you.
prosper you in it.
Thank
Any
you.
last words? Oh, by the way, we have our next cohort coming up for the Speaker Mentorship Program in June. Any words that you would say to a lady who's listening right now?
Mhm.
A step. What would you say to her?
All I have to say is get on the call. It won't hurt. It's a free consultation call. Get on the call. And like God spoke to me when Dr. Collins was speaking to me at that time, God will reach out. And I know sometimes we always think about, again, it's we uncomfortable with probably spending the money. Well, you have to be uncomfortable to get to the next level, right? And Dr. Collins is a professional. She's done this is more than her first time, and I'm here as testimony to tell you she's great. She's good at what she's doing, and you get to meet a wonderful women all over the world who are here to support you and to share their stories as well.
Awesome. So, Natasha, thank you again. Viewers, thank you for being here. Natasha, you just have Charmaine is saying, great job, Natasha.
Thank you, Shums.
We have here. Thanks, Natasha. Don't people need your guidance? Sometimes we don't always see the names because of where it might appear on Facebook. We have Joanna saying she loves this. My errors does not devalue who I am. We have Yvette cheering you on there.
Thank you, Yvette.
Great
Thank
choice.
you.
We're just excited that Natasha has been able to do this. And so, guys, her email is there on the screen. You're able to actually get that. And we're just looking forward to seeing you tomorrow when we feature guests. And I look forward to just having them there in the thing. And Natasha, God bless you again.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Dr.
You
Thomas.
can always go in there and check and also share your link
Yes.
for the event. So those in St. Lucia and maybe people outside who have family in St. Lucia, they can
Want to
actually
support.
register young ladies. All
Thank
right.
you for the opportunity again.
Not a problem.